The bathroom experiment is inspired by Eduardo Bonilla Silva's last chapter, Postscript, What is to be Done, from his book Racism Without Racists. In this experiment, whites, blacks, and mixed-race people ask to use the bathroom in Ann Arbor restaurants where they are not patrons and record the host or hostess's response. The goal is to observe any differences in the treatment of different types of people asking for a favor or privilege that is not theirs.
Here's a quote from Bonilla Silva's chapter that will help explain what our experiment is all about.
Another individual level strategy I have suggested to young people is to create teams to test whether race affects a host of social transactions, such as trying to rent an apartment, purchase things at the mall, apply for jobs, hail a cab, and the like. The teams could try to assess the race effect in these affairs by sending teammates alone in various settings and then comparing notes afterwards with their teammates.
So, the purpose of our project is not to collect tons of data or make any radical conclusions about racism in Ann Arbor. Rather, it is a way for us to come together and start a discussion about race and racism in our area. There are many factors that vary the outcomes of our experiment, so we want to stress that this is not about the numbers, but rather the experience.
The racial sensitivity of Ann Arbor leads us to believe our results will show no racial biases. Though this is our expectation, we will be looking primarily for subconscious and subtler forms of racist belief and thinking. This could take one of the following forms. We expect that the host might overcompensate for past racism. This would be when the host is overly kind and excessive in allowing a black experimenter to use the bathroom, trying to avoid seeming racist. Another situation would be covert racism, where the same host lets one experimenter of one race in and denies an experimenter of another race. A third situation we're looking for are microaggressions. Because we don't expect the data to be especially revealing numerically, we are looking for instances where experimenters of different races receive the same result, both accepted or both rejected, but engage in differently toned conversation.
For our bathroom experiment, we had a team of 5 test subjects, all between the ages of 19 and 23 and all college students. Our first subject is Carly, who is a white female. Our second subject is Michaela, who is a white female as well. Our third subject is Remy, who is a mixed-race female. Our fourth subject is Ben, who is a white male. And our fifth subject is Channing, who is a black male.
Our first stop of the experiment will be Mani, a delicious and popular Italian restaurant. Carly, Remy, and Ben each went to Mani, and all of them were accepted. Each of the hosts that allowed the subjects into the bathroom were white females. Here's what they had to say.
Do you guys just have a bathroom I can borrow?
It's around the stairs down the left.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you.
Can I just use your bathroom?
Absolutely, it's straight down the center staircase to the right.
Thank you.
The interactions between host and subject were all quite friendly. Whether Remy's case was one of overcompensation for past racism is unknown, but it seems that the host and subject had a genuine conversation. Our subject's next stop was a nice sit-down restaurant on a popular street in Ann Arbor, Knights. Once again, Carly, Ben, and Remy were our subjects, and they all got in.
Sure. Straight back there.
Stop 3, Tomokun, where there was a little more drama. Both Carly and Remy encountered hosts of color. While Remy was accepted, Carly was not.
Hey, do you guys have a bathroom I could borrow real quick? Okay, thank you. Just the bathroom. Yeah.
Can I please just use the bathroom?
I'm pretty sure your bathroom is for customers only.
Okay, that's fine. I'll go somewhere else.
I know like Sweetwater's has a bathroom. They should still be open.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Who knows what the reason for Carly's not getting in was? Could it be that because she was white and the host was of color, she was discriminated against? Or perhaps the host was just a little more strict on the rules. After hitting Tomokun, the subjects made their way to the Mexican restaurant, Tio's. All 5 subjects were accepted into the bathroom. It seems that when it comes to the bathroom, Tio's has no problem with anyone using it. Maybe it has something to do with all the tequila.
Hi. Hey, can I possibly use your bathroom? Thank you. Thank you.
After Tio's came Sava's, another very popular restaurant in Ann Arbor. Remy, Carly, Channing, and Ben all asked to use the bathroom here, and each were accepted. The subject's penultimate stop was Taste, another nice sit-down restaurant on East Liberty. Carly, Michaela, and Remy all asked to use the bathroom here, and each of them were accepted. The last stop of the experiment was a very tasty ramen restaurant, the Slurping Turtle. All 5 subjects asked to use the bathroom in the Slurping Turtle. However, Michaela was the only one not allowed in. All the other subjects had young women as their hostesses. However, Michaela had an older Asian man as hers.
Hi, excuse me. Can I just use your bathroom really quick?
This is in the building once. We have one sweet water and the Starbucks. It's not
One
public,
here?
but we don't have any.
Oh, no public restrooms. Okay, thank you.
Here we see how intersectionality comes to play in this experiment. We have different genders, different ages, different hosts, and these things all affect our results.
A major theme of this experiment is the idea of automatic yet subconscious stereotypes. This clip from Cracking the Code elaborates on this idea, where Tim Wise talks about the IAT and subconscious stereotypes.
I think unconscious bias is really heavily implicated in white America's racial attitudes in this age of Obama, so to speak. On the one hand, I think a lot of white folks who actually admire President Obama a lot, who voted for him, who find him to be an extremely erudite, intelligent, capable leader. Nonetheless, and we know this from the studies, many of those folks will indeed have implicit associations between black folks and negativity, different stereotypes, different views, and they've taken, many of them, the implicit association tests that have been run by Harvard and Princeton and others that can test for these sort of subconscious biases. And what those studies have found is 75% of white Americans have overtly pro-white, anti-black bias. Well, by definition, some of those folks voted for Barack Obama because he got about, 44% of the white vote, 45%. So by definition, a large number of white folks who carry around this sort of baggage of bias and prejudice toward, let's say, the black community, are willing to carve out these exceptions for those who make us comfortable, who seem different from the norm.
Another interesting aspect of this clip is the idea of performativity. We won't elaborate too much on this because our experiment isn't controlled enough to determine the extent of its effect on our results. With that being said, it's interesting to hear the discrepancy between voting patterns and the implicitly racist associations that white people hold with black individuals. Barack isn't performing entirely as black because his white experiences. People carry around baggage of bias but are willing to carve out an exception for people who make us comfortable because they seem different from the norm. One of our test subjects, Channing, might fall into this category because his British origins and his accent. He is black by skin, but his implicit associations of race are suppressed because his lack of black performativity. As Tim Wise alluded to in his video, there are a number of white individuals that may not hold traditionally racist beliefs or ideas, but have automatic subconscious stereotypes that are activated upon interaction with other races. The implicit associations test he alludes to has a number of different subtests that measure subconscious associations that accompany religion, disability, gender, sexuality, skin tone, and other categories, but we looked at the race IAT. Upon further investigation of the IAT's use in studies, we came upon a journal by Lowry, Hardin, and Sinclair, which referenced the conclusions from Devine 1990, stating that stereotypes are activated automatically upon exposure to a member of a stereotype group or symbolic equivalent, irrespective of one's conscious intentions, beliefs, or prejudice, whereas the application of stereotypes is sometimes susceptible to conscious control. Lowry et al. Focused on this idea of conscious control. In experiments involving actual interethnic contact, both tacit and expressed social influence reduce the expression of automatic prejudice as assessed by 2 different measures of automatic attitudes. What we can take away from these ideas and studies is that, regardless of our race, these stereotypes exist in the back of our minds. Whether you're an active racist or a human rights activist, these associations are present in all of us. Further studies must be conducted to explore the influence of social interaction on the degree to which these subconscious associations are manifested.
Now that you guys have heard all about our experiment, we encourage you to go out and do one of your own. Perhaps you could do the same bathroom experiment, only don't ask the host if you can use the bathroom, just go and see if you get stopped. Or you could go to different stores and act as if you're short on money and see if you get compensated for it. Or you could go up to strangers and ask them to use their cell phone because you forgot yours or it's out of battery. Getting a team together to conduct experiments such as this are a great way to get conversations about race and racism going with your friends and peers. Good luck experimenting!